Welcome to the Post Shift Podcast, your raw look at the hospitality industry, brought to you by SHC.
What is happening, Post Shifters? Welcome back to another episode of the Post Shift Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Shawn Soole. I had a couple of busy days off between podcasts yesterday with Camper English. Today was Danelle Nevsky from Indie Bartender and Cocktail Man. It was a really great chat. I'll be posting that very, very shortly. I've pretty much got all the podcasts done till the end of the month, which is great because I'm very, very busy at work. So, as you may or may not know, right now, I'm splitting my time between Vancouver and Victoria. So I'm spending 4 days in Vancouver, 4 days, 4 nights in Vancouver, running as the general manager of Luai, as well as the beverage director for both Luai and Bagheera. So I'm looking after the cocktail menu at Bagheera, as well as everything else at Luai. So it's a hectic schedule. And then on Sundays, I usually get up super early after finishing super late and get some cleaning and some updating with stuff when there's no one there. And then boot at home at 10:30, and usually 10:30 to 3:30, 5 hours, door to door to get home on Sunday. And then I'm usually bagged out by 8:30 on Sunday night. But way back at Post Shift Shot number 2, which would have been January 2019, so we're talking 6 years ago, I did an episode called Time Management. And so I wanted to revisit that one because a lot of people have been asking me about how I compartmentalize my life. And so I'm going to give you 5 pointers, as always, the 5 pointers on some time management. Know your priorities and cut the bullshit. This is the big one. Not everything deserves your time. Figure out exactly what moves the needle in your career and your life and cut out the distractions. If it's not getting closer to your goals, it's dead weight. Now, this one's tough because I do preach work-life balance, but I do preach goal setting, sacrifice, and achieving your goals. So there is a certain level of awareness you need to have. If you set yourself lofty goals, you have to be prepared to sacrifice some of your lifetime for your work time, if that makes sense. So just cutting out all the bullshit doesn't always work the way you want it to do. So you have to align your goals and your work-life balance really, really closely. Compartmentalizing what actually needs to get done is a very, very important thing. And if you're trying to get to your goal in 6 to 12 months, you may need to sacrifice some free time to get to that goal. Time block like a pro. This is something I do. I know the usual, thing is this could have been an email. If something could be an email over a message or an actual meeting, that's why I love text, I love DMs, I love WhatsApp, I love 7 shifts, I love everything. I like to communicate as much as possible when I'm communicating and when I feel like I need to communicate, instead of grouping it all together for a meeting. Time block like a pro. Know that you go, okay, I'm going to do a podcast from 9 till 10:30, that's my block. After 10:30, let's say, give me half an hour to say goodbye to my wife, head downtown, 11 to this to this. Time block like a pro, and time block like a pro when it comes to every single task in your day. If you say, I have to do X, Y, Z, whether it be financials first thing in the morning, okay, I'm going to give myself 10:30 to get this done. I need to have it done by 10:30. It's going to put me behind in my day. You time block like a champ. The 80-20 rule. So the 80-20 rule is 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So identify the tasks that actually drive your success and focus on them. Stop work. Like a lot of the time, people get caught up in busy work. And listen, I am guilty of busy work myself, checking my phone, social media. It's really tough when you're trying to be prolific in social media on the platforms and then also trying to get your work done, because you start getting sucked into the death scrolling of social media. So it's really, really tough. And then you do that sort of thing too. But the 80-20 rule, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Keep that in mind for everything you do in life. Training, marketing, social media, talking to people. I just think it's a really good thing to live by. Delegate, automate, and eliminate. So you want to delegate as much as you can. Right now, I'm learning a lot of systems at Luai that I know I'm going to be able to delegate that to my right hand very, very shortly, once I sort of get my head wrapped around scheduling and that sort of thing. So if you get to a certain point, you need to have people in your life. Now, most people will go, well, I don't have the money to pay those people. That staff member costs me too much to do that. What is your time worth as a general manager, as a assistant manager, as a restaurant manager, as an operations manager? What is your time worth? And if your time is worth more than hiring someone for half the cost to do that little thing, then it's worth it. I understand when you're really looking at the cents and the nickels, it can come off as like, oh, I can't afford it. You can afford it if it costs you more money to do it yourself. So delegate, automate, and eliminate. It's a big, big thing. Try and eliminate as much dead weight that you don't need to do yourself that you can pass on to someone else. I could have taken over a lot more things at LOI, but this time I was like, no. There's people that have been there for a while. They've already been doing this. Let's see how that goes. And I still sign off on things, but I let them do it. Stop saying yes to everything. Oh my God, this is such a big one that I can't honestly stand there and look at you in the face or speak to you through your ear and say that I'm not guilty for saying yes to everything. I am now trying to get into the methodology of being much more deliberate about what I say yes to. I think that every suggestion is an opportunity. Every opportunity should be said yes to, but I really knuckle down on like, what is it actually going to be worth to me in the time? Is it for personal reasons? Is it for career reasons? Is it for work venue reasons? So I try and knuckle down, not saying yes to everything, because that can become a massive time suck and you want to try and avoid that. So those are the 5 pointers I have on time management. I'm going to give you some other pointers that are not in my 5 steps. So, and this episode really came out of a friend of mine. She runs Kinu and Sizzling Tendor, and she was a little bit stressed about, I'm sorry, Kern, you're gonna, like, if you're listening to this, I apologize, but she was feeling a little bit stressed about compartmentalizing and how do I get everything done. So, how do I personally do it? I'm gonna give you pointers. I always have a notepad with me or a piece of paper, a piece of card, and during service, during my day, I write down everything. Then on my Sunday going home, I do my end of week stuff for the bar. And then I go through my list and add it to my to-do list and then start tackling bit by bit. I compartmentalize and then put compartments in that compartmentalization of little things that are important, what needs to be prioritized, what needs to get done, who's it for, is it for me, is it for the business, is it for my staff, is it for the other business? But that's how I sort of break it down. I don't try to compartmentalize per se during the moment. I try and compartmentalize at the end of the week to tackle the week after. This is just my system. My system may be just the way I do it, and you might find other ways. You might listen to other podcasts. You might see other YouTube videos or TED Talks. That makes sense. But like compartmentalization of your life, whether it be work or your home life. My home life, I am very spoiled. The fact that I'm not proactive in my home life. My wife sort of organizes all that, and I'm very, very proactive with the business. That's how you sort of tackle and address and break down every little thing. Once you get through your to-do list, then you can sort of start delegating those jobs out to other people. So that's how I break down my thing. So it's not necessarily what I need to do right there and then. It may be for the next day, which I'll look over my notes and go, you know what, I'll tackle this today, and I break that down. But Sunday's my day where I like take an hour out of my day, usually on the ferry, and I break down everything I've put down on a list that week, break it down, boom, 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 and I tackle it, dropping in emails or sourcing something or ordering something. That's when I sort of tackle it. You might do that on Sunday, you might take Sundays off, you might want to do that Monday morning or Tuesday morning when you get back to work. But that's how I compartmentalize my life and compartmentalize how I achieve everything. People always ask me when I sleep. It's not necessarily about when you sleep. I still sleep 7-8 hours a night. It's about what you do the other 16 hours of the day. What do you do in the other 16 hours of the day that you can achieve your goals? Now, I'm not preaching that you should grind out 16 hours a day. But if you're trying to achieve a certain goal, certain time frame, 12 hours a day is not unreasonable. 10 hours a day is not unreasonable. And so you still have plenty of downtime. If you start breaking down how much downtime you have, for how much work time you have, for how much sleep time you have, you'd be surprised what you can pull out of 24 hours. So on that note, guys, thanks always for the support. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening, Pose Shifters. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. I really enjoy sitting down with friends and peers and just chatting about the industry and getting down to the nuts and bolts of what's really going on out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, everything on all the platforms. Just hit it up and I'll do my best to answer any queries or questions you have. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.